Hi, I'm J.E. Prazzi, speculative fiction author, the writer of the Malfunction trilogy and the Raventree Society, and PFW Acquisitions editor. I am coming to you with my fourth live stream, and I'm actually quite shocked that I've made it this far and I haven't wimped out yet. Time will tell whether or not that's a good decision, but I am working with a brand new webcam today. I've had some issues with the sound, so I'm hoping it works out okay. If not, I mean, there's bound to be a few throwaways here somewhere, right? But yeah, I apologize for any issues. I'll watch it over there and see if this is a webcam that needs to be thrown in the garbage or not. But yeah, you guys, if you followed along, you kind of know the drill. It's very relaxed. This is just kind of a hangout. I am doing the Hello World tag from Megan Tennant over at the Cloud Kitten Publishing channel here on YouTube. Really great channel. I highly encourage you to go check her out, and not just because she reviewed my book, although maybe that's the first video you should watch. But yeah, she did this. It's 10 questions long, little tag to just introduce new authors to Authortube. So I've already done the Authortube-Newbie tag and the BookTube-Newbie tag. I had one free week left in this month, so I decided I'd go ahead with this. And then next month, I'm going to be starting my kind of regular schedule. I'm going to be having a special guest on. I'm not going to tell you who, but she's awesome, and I'm really excited about it. I just want to make sure we get everything nailed down, so I'll probably announce it on my social media at some point. But we're going to be discussing the Red Rising saga. It's a saga now, I know. She just kept the trilogy. All my peoples were safe. But we're going to be discussing it in the first video. We're going to be discussing it as readers. And then the next video, we're going to be kind of taking an author perspective and talking about some in-depth stuff, the writing, the characters, stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that. But right now and today, we are doing the Hello World tag. So I have my list of questions, as per usual, and I'm going to go through these. So, first question. What genre and age groups do you write? As I said in my intro, I am a speculative fiction author. The reason why I say that is because I don't want to be kind of sucked into one genre. I want to have the ability to kind of move around and write in different areas. I think someday if I decide to reach out in something like historical fiction or nonfiction, I'll probably pick up another pen name to do that, but I wanted to be able to brand myself so that I could write in multiple different genres. But my first published book was a science fiction, adult. I don't write YA. I don't have much interest in writing YA or children's, but it's an adult book, sci-fi, specifically biopunk. I brand it biopunk dystopian. So if you aren't familiar with biopunk, biopunk is similar to cyberpunk, which some people don't know that term either, but it's kind of an offshoot of that. So it's science fiction, mostly dealing with things like genetics and diseases and the biology side of things. So that's kind of my first love. And then recently, I also branched out into horror. I'm in my second season of the Raventree Society, which I talked about in the last stream a little bit. I just published the first episode of the Raventree Society, and that is paranormal, very similar to the Haunted Hill House and Supernatural, kind of if you collide the two of those together, which you might not think it works, but my readers think it does. So yes, so adult speculative fiction. Number 2, what stage of your writing journey are you in, and how long have you been writing? I have been writing for pretty much as long as I can remember. If you've watched my earlier videos, you'll see that books and writing and reading have been a huge part of my family, have been a huge part of growing up. I have been writing since I can remember, but as far as writing with a professional mindset, it's been about 3.5 years now that I've been writing seriously. I am a published author. I am self-published, indie published. Eventually I might branch out, but for now I'm pretty happy being indie published. I have 2 books out in The other one I have over there for check when I'm writing. 2 books out in my Malfunction trilogy, which they're good chunky books there. And then the Raven Society is short stories. Each of those are about 10,000 words. I have 5 of those, 6 of those out currently, and 1 up for pre-sale. And I also have a few short stories out in anthologies, mostly with Phoenix Fiction, and on blog posts and hidden treasures across the web, which if you want to find those, you're going to have to go digging. But yeah, so I'm about 2 years, I'm going to be 2 years in April into my career as an indie author. I'm loving it. It's very hard work, but it's amazing. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I'm going to keep going whether or not I get to go full time, whether or not this gets to be my career. I just love it so much. All right, question number 3. What is your current WIP? WIP stands for work in progress, for those of you who aren't familiar with that term. My current work in progress is the 3rd book of the Malfunction trilogy. It is titled, yes, books are falling. It is titled Connection. So we have Malfunction, Disintegration, and Connection. I am also, at the same time, I have all 5 episodes of the Raven Society written. So I'm rereading over those, sending them out to my critique partners and editing them. They go up every other month on Amazon, Kindle Select, if you read through Kindle Select. So I'm working on those. And then I also have a fiction that I'm publishing on my blog. I'm working on that. I have a few projects that I'm working on for next year because I want to get ahead with first drafts. So I'm on the second, thirdish draft of Connection, and about a few chapters in. It's slow going, but I'm really excited about that, and that should be due out in the fall. Okay, so question number 4: traditionally self or unsure? And I kind of already answered that. I'm self-published. Love it that way. Might go hybrid at some point, but my first love is always going to be self-publishing. Number 5, what made you want to join Authortube? So, the big thing for me when it came to Authortube is I wanted to be able to have a place to put my live streams, put my videos, to be able to hang out with my readers and with my audience without having to lose control about when it goes down. So if I streamed on Facebook, it was enjoyable. I didn't get a ton of interaction over there just because Facebook isn't a big platform for me. I don't spend a ton of time on there. But even though they would be visible, you kind of have to go digging for them. And then with Instagram, I've done live streams on there, and it's always been great interaction. I've really enjoyed it, but they only last for 24 hours and then they're gone. So they're not something that I can share on my platforms. They're not something that I can show people, that I can refer back to people. And they're definitely not something that I want to be able to do fun things like offer some author insight and stuff. And on top of that, I'm a huge story nerd. I'm a huge nerd in general. And being a huge story nerd and being someone who likes to vomit up their knowledge on other people, I'm sorry, that's probably not the most beautiful metaphor, but we're going to go with it. I really wanted to be able to share what I was learning. And instead of just like ambushing people and being like, hey, do you want to learn how to write deep POV? I decided it'd be a better idea to have it somewhere where people can actually click on it and like desire to watch it. So that was my main motivation for joining Authortube, is first having a place to hang out with my readers, hang out with the community, and secondly, being able to share some of the stuff that I have just inhaled as I've been researching stuff. Question number 6. Are there any channels that inspire you to join? Yeah, definitely. I've watched a lot of different Authortube videos, and there's been people that I've kind of binge watched and people that I've enjoyed. But my first introduction into Authortube and what I really love the best, K.M. Weiland is an amazing author. She's an indie author, and she shares her knowledge through her website, through her blog, and through her podcast. But a while ago, she also had a YouTube channel. And when I was first learning how to write, I would just put her videos on repeat and just watch like through the entire list and go back and watch it again. And even now I still go back and when I'm learning something or when I'm dealing with a specific issue, I'll still go back and look at those. She's just an incredible teacher and she's a great writer. I really enjoy her work. And the other one is Ellen Brock. She doesn't upload regularly, but she uploads, she has a certain period of the year when she kind of does like this big batch of uploads every day. And she is an editor, developmental editor, and I believe she works with children and YA books, but she just has a ton of knowledge, and most of the stuff that I've learned from her. And she also has a really great way of teaching, which a lot of times she'll take existing books and kind of break it down a little bit, but she's also has a very authoritative voice when it comes to what people want to read, both readers and agents, and so she tends to be more towards the agent group. She's her business is to help edit your book in order to get it ready to submit as a query, but she does have a really good grasp on what readers like as well. So if you are self-published and you're not looking to find an agent for your book, she's also a really great resource. And she's great. I've connected to her on Twitter a little bit as well when I was part of the short indie contest a while back. She's just a great person. Number 7, how long have you been watching Authortube? I started watching Authortube, I was most of the way through my first serious writing project, which was 200,000 word fantasy book, which tends to be where a lot of people start off. And I was doing a ton of research on just basic fantasy stuff, like how to plan battles and armor and swords and HEMA and all that kind of stuff. And one day I was kind of looking through my writing and I was wondering if maybe I could pick up some tips. So I decided, hey, YouTube is my go-to for all this other sort of research. Why don't I start looking for writing advice too? And lo and behold, I started looking for writing advice. So that was probably about 3 years ago. And I've been watching on and off ever since. Question number 8, is there anything special or unique you hope to bring to YouTube or to Authortube? Me! I have a different perspective, I think, than a lot of people when it comes to point of view, and I think that's something I'm especially passionate about, and it's probably something I'm going to talk about a little bit more. My books are well known for having really strong characters, really fast-packed, action-packed scenes, and also really deep point of view. So if you're not familiar with deep point of view is when you kind of remove yourself as the author and you're writing directly to the reader from the character's point of view, and the reader is being inserted directly into the character's experience. So it'd be similar to writing first person, the classical first person, without the first person pronouns. So yeah, those are things I'm really excited about sharing. I know there's 1,000,001 videos about how to write a character, but as far as point of view, I think a lot of authors really struggle with that starting out. So that's something I really hope to bring is kind of my perspective on that and kind of influence the conversation and be part of the conversation, because there's a lot of changes happening, especially because we are so obsessed with TV and movies and stuff. We're changing the way we consume media. So I'm really excited to kind of hop in on that conversation. I also want to bring more of a marketing and platform perspective as well. And I know you're watching the quality of my videos going, really, Jill, you want to talk about marketing? Because this is poor quality. But like I said, this is kind of a chill hangout, and I'm learning new things every day, and this is just one of the ways I want to learn. But when I was first starting out in publishing, realizing how much I had to do, I just kind of inhaled a lot of stuff. And you can find a ton of great resources on podcasts, but it's harder to get that on YouTube. So I kind of want to be kind of the go-between between the professional indie authors who are dealing with this kind of stuff every day, who have a few YouTube channels, but most of it is on podcasts and on blogs and stuff like that. And kind of the average author who's just kind of starting out and learning how to write a book and wondering, what's the next steps? What do I need to do to get ready to start publishing, whether I'm doing self-publishing or traditional publishing? Like, what are the things I need to be thinking about now when I'm working on my first or second or third book? So that's kind of my hope, is to be that kind of brain. I think I lost my place because I'm getting talkative. Number 9, what inspired you to start writing? Like I said earlier, my family has always been really into books, whether from the writing or reading. I've always been into researching. I think I'm probably the only child who exists who got super excited when I was told I had to write a research paper. Probably the only child who existed who was told to quit writing such long book reports, because I would convey every single thought on the book all the way through. No, I'm sure there's other people out there, but I'm gonna stake that claim to fame. But for a long time I wasn't writing, and I think the big thing that kind of brought me back to it is my husband and I were staying with my mother-in-law for a while, which I love her, but it was just a really bad situation. We were in one room and working. I was working the same job I'm working now, which I love, but it's very long hours. And it was just a really, really rough place when I felt like everything that I was doing was getting undone as soon as I was doing it. I was working as a nanny, and I would go and I would clean the house and I would take care of the kid, and I'd go home and I'd come back and it was all undone again, because that's what happens with children. I would clean our little one room where our entire life was packed into, and it wouldn't take 5 seconds before it was destroyed again. Just keeping up with everything, with bills, with just the stresses of life. I'm sure there's lots of people out there who can recognize the feeling. You do laundry and it gets undone again. You do dishes, it gets undone again. And I really wanted to be able to pursue that creative side of me, and to do it in a way I couldn't do my art. I couldn't do anything because we were in such a cramped space. I wanted to be able to do it in a way that I could create something that would stand the test of time, that would be there. And the great thing about writing, especially these days, these books will be here forever. The internet is forever, for one. So, I posted them, I published them, and even if I take them down, I'm sure there's going to be copies floating around there. But I have these books now, and I have them in a form in which they exist, and I can pass these down to my children, and they're here. And you can't just erase them. And having that monument of that hard work, knowing that I did that, and I have, 95,000 words in this book alone, knowing that that's there and that it will outlive me, I think was something really powerful to me when I was really kind of struggling with my impact in the world. So I started writing to have something that lasted, and it's become a lot more. It helped me overcome a lot of stuff that was going on, but it's become something that I'm very passionate about, that takes a big portion of my time in my life now, and not in a bad way. Okay, question number 10. So this is kind of like our end cap on it. What is your favorite piece of writing advice? This is the last question. So it's hard to pick one. I think I'm going to choose 2, and I'm probably going to talk about them for a long time. This video is probably going to be much longer than it needs to be, but you're going to have to get used to this, because the more comfortable I get on camera, the more I'm going to talk. I'm sorry. Okay, so my 2 pieces of writing advice that I really enjoy. The first one is to write every day. And now I know some people take real issue with that. And I think what it is it's not a discouragement of saying you failed if you did not write today. What it is it's encouraging authors and writers to view the time that they spend on their work as valid. And I think it's been said multiple times by self-published authors on podcasts and whatnot, that you can't get grocery store block and just decide not to go into your job as a cash register, as a, you know, I always fail when it comes to this metaphor. Point being, pretty much any other job you approach, you have to approach it in a professional manner, and you can't just, you know, not feel like it one day and not go to work. And if you're going to be treating writing as a profession, there are going to be days, multiple days in a row. Right now, I am going through quite the month, and I know two of my three critique partners are in the same boat right now, where none of us want to write, but it's got to get done. And to be a serious author, to deliver your work, you know, especially once you publish, I can't be like, hey, I have these 2 books, both of them that kind of have cliff endings, and you're not going to get the other book for like 5 years because I just don't feel like writing today. So I think, you know, that particular piece of advice, like, not only does it encourage novice writers to validate their writing time and to not view it as something trivial or something, you know, childish that should be thrown away, that it's valid and it's good and it's important if you want it to be important. If that's an important part of your creative life, it is a good thing to pursue. So I like that writing advice for that reason, but I think also from a professional perspective, it just encourages you not to accept writing block, not to just swallow it and be like, I don't feel like it today. And that's not to say that you can never take a break or you can never skip a day, but just to bring a professional mindset to it when you come. My second piece of writing advice, which I really adhere to, is to be curious, to do your research. And I know I recently did a poll on Twitter kind of asking about it. Some authors, I think the reason why a lot of people get into fantasy when they first come into writing is because they feel like with fantasy they can make stuff up. Now, that's arguable depending on what genre you're writing in, but there's this need for you as a writer to be curious. Whether that is spending hours on the internet looking up what acid can eat away someone's face, which, yes, I have done it. I am one of those authors. Or whether it is taking a special note when you go out for a walk of how the wind feels and trying to translate that to your character, or asking questions with your writing that takes it a step further than most people with the accept yourself Disney message, or, you know, remembering back to when you were a kid and wondering what it'd be like to be that kid in today's day or age, or, you know, some of you might be a kid in today's day or age, and maybe it'd be the reverse, you know, wondering what it'd feel like to be a 80-year-old person that you're trying to write about. I think that the most important thing for a writer is to spark that curiosity and to always be wanting to learn, whether that is studying and researching for your book. I know not all people are going to be into hard science fiction like mine is, but it's always got to be there, that curiosity and that desire to learn, I think is probably one of the most important things for a writer. So that is question number 10. That is the end of it. I've been talking for almost 30 minutes, and yeah, I guess I'm starting to get comfortable on the camera. I apologize, guys. I hope that you're learning cool things and that you're enjoying it. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of close this out. Like I said, next week I'm going to be talking about Red Rising. I'm going to be talking about it as a writer, as a reader first, and then as a writer, and I'm going to have a special guest on for both of those. And then after that, I'm going to be doing an Authortube and BookTube video to close out the month. And then, the first episode of the Raven Tree Society, and all the covers look like this. They're gorgeous. But I'm going to be working on, actually, show this to you guys. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to do it. My art. I have another really cool picture in here that I'm not going to show you guys because it's for a friend. Okay, I just finished the Raven Tree Society logo. I finished drawing it. I'm going to put it into the computer, and I'm going to send it to Pool Publishing, who is my awesome cover designer and everything designer, and my buoy in this tempest that is self-publishing. Yeah, I'm going to be doing all the covers as well, and that'll be coming in the near future. But for now, all of them look like this. But I just published the first episode in season 2. It is titled Grace Cemetery, and it is available on Amazon now. And you can also pre-order episode 2. But if you have not read the first season, I highly suggest you go read that. You can buy all the episodes separately for 99 cents. You can go pick up the paperback, or you can get an ebook version of all of the episodes at once, so that you don't have to buy each one individually. Or if you have Kindle Select, you can just read them for free. I hate how people say that. Kindle Select is not free. For your monthly subscription cost on Kindle Select. So yeah, if you are interested in what I had to say, I'm also going to kind of just let you guys know, I'm going to be trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to open and close these so I can sound a little bit more personal, more professional, and less rambly. But you can find me on my website. I'm not there now, but it's going to be there. I'm going to put all my links, should be down below. But if you want to find me, the best place to go is to my website, www.JillianPrazzi.com. That's JILLANEPURRAZZI.com. I have a ton of stuff on there, including links to most of my books. It's going to be updated soon. I also have a link to my newsletter. I highly encourage people, before they take advice from anyone in writing, to try and read something. Not that you can't learn from someone who is not a good writer. But anyways, there is a lot of free fiction available. Most of it you can find through my website. If you sign up for my newsletter, you can get Revelation, which is this one, with my beautiful KDP paperback. Very professional. My Revelation, which is the prequel novella to the Malfunction trilogy. You can get that for free in ebook. You can also, if you go hunting, you can find some other free stuff. But if you want something that's really easy to consume, if you head over to the actual YouTube page and look through my videos, I have a full audiobook of one of my short stories in this world, Topside, which you can listen to on my YouTube free of charge. And I also suggest you look through all this stuff on my website. I have a piece of fiction that I'm working on my blog right now, which is my first fantasy. It's Moana meets Peter Pan, basically. And then I have a few other things in the extras page, which you might, hunt up. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff for you to find if you go looking. I also encourage you to go check out the Phoenix Fiction writers on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and on the website. There are some awesome indie authors that I just love to work with. So yes, I'm rambling for almost 30 minutes now. I am going to go ahead and close this out. Here's my first attempt at a outro, but we'll work on that. Bear with me, and hopefully you guys can actually hear this and the audio isn't complete crap, because then I'm just gonna be talking to myself for 30 minutes. Woohoo! All right, have a great weekend, guys. Bye.